Hey everyone, it's Sam from Sam Putnam Business. This is how to start, or the best age to start a financial media biz. It's kind of a weird title, but I was just thinking about it after I went on a quick run. And one thing that's interesting I found, and I'm going to get to some of this stuff that's on the screen here with ChatGPT and the database and all this financial media toolkit. Uh, Details, the sauce, you might call it, in just a moment. But the one thing that's interesting from going to this conference um, is basically you have in a financial media business, right? You have people who are the gurus, right? I got to remember my audience here is people who are very tuned in. So yeah, so you have the gurus, which is maybe more more suave way to say that, copacetic for all parties involved, is like the educators, right? You need some sort of conduit between the tech and the customer, right? That's a person, right? Customer service, but also educating. So you have people teaching the stocks and the options and the dividend investing plays and all different ranges. Um, the $10,000 a year thing, which if you have $10 million, $10,000 a year, that's the same as someone having, um, $100,000 and spending $100 a year, right? Or 10 grand and spending $10. So that's crazy to say out loud, but someone with $10 million spending $10,000 is the same as someone with 10 grand spending $10. So that's just really important. It took me a long time to really start to internalize that. I still don't think I really have internalized it, but basically you're selling things to old people is what this is all about. So if that's strange, which sometimes it feels strange, way to get in the mindset of making that not feel strange is think about if you have $1,000 that's um, in some account you have, it's like taking 10 bucks out of that. And that's like this old person, taking 10 grand out of that account. So it starts to make sense when you say it that way, like the 10 bucks. Now, as far as the tech part, that's where this is always going. I'm only on day 3 of this. Uh, I registered the LLC on maybe Thursday last week or Friday, something like that. And right now, what I'm trying to do is build the most, valuable part, the part that actually matters, the only part that without it, nothing else matters, which is, you could say the ad server, the deliverability mechanism, the throughput of the whole operation, the SMS and email, um, segmentation and management, database, uh, proprietary, you put these things in the LLC, so you think, it describes the business in such the way that um, directs you towards that. So really, you got to become a code guy. So I'm back to becoming a code guy. Like I'm 22 or 21 or whatever I was trying to do back then. So, but I'm 33, almost 34 now. But all these pieces are necessary. So I was just thinking when I went on this run, um, and I felt this before when you go play a sport, a competitive sport, something, it doesn't have to be competitive, but a sport isn't itself competitive, right? You're trying to do a goal, achieve um, score points, whatever. So you get competitive, and that's really helpful for creating YouTube videos, I found. So, maybe YouTube, are creating these, any sort of video, some sort of sales process, which you need a sales process to get that, again, that $10 from that person with $1,000. I really like using that example to just say, the ratios are important here. If you can get that $10, you need to have something worth $10 for that person, and something evocative is what gets you there. So, yeah, going on a run, any sort of sport, something getting your juices going a little bit, does help with creating something that connects to another person. And you might say, well, you don't really need, if you're watching this, you know that connecting with another person, or you need someone who does do that, is important. So that's why you have Porter Stansberry and MarketBeat, right? That's why you have, James Altucher and It's Today. Whatever your, investing media solutions, and Jack Kellogg, Charles Flagel, right? I'm only recently talking to some of these folks because now I'm trying to create this biz. But just as important as, definitely not as important. I think the most important thing is what I'm working on right now. It's just going to take a while getting this database thing going. But so let's get into that. I've done enough weird stuff that anyone who's a programmer will hate me talking like that. But here's what I've got going on here. Less hand motions. Basically, you got to get some throughput through this thing, and we need to get the segmentation going. So I've got events. This is a big step. Okay. I already had this basically, but everyone, their IP, their what page they opted in on. I'm only having people opt in on one page right now. Their email, I guess that's pretty much it. User agent, right? They came in with a Chrome or whatever. It doesn't hurt to have that, I guess. But that comes into this database. So I'm all clear there, pretty much compliance wise, to the best of my ability as I understand it. So that's good. I'm going to get the contacts in here. I thought that I'd be able to export all the activity from SendGrid. I had 500 contacts. If you use cost, let's say they cost, we'll say super conservatively, but maybe not conservatively, depending on how bad you are at running traffic, which it's going to take me some time. I have this Meta account and I've got a phone number attached to it, but they might not like the Google Voice number, or they might not like the credit card or the privacy card that I'm trying to attach to the Meta account once I start spending there. So, that could get disallowed again, and then I'll have to find another Meta account. And, I don't want to be running Meta ads through, my mom's account, or, asking my aunt, logging in through her account. They actually use Facebook, right? Or Instagram even now. So I don't really want to be running ads through their accounts. But you might have to do what you got to do. But anyway, so I do have an account here, fingers crossed. So I'll be able to, so let's say those leads cost $10 to acquire. Okay, so if there's 500, that's $5,000 of leads that I was able to capture. Capture is not kind of an aggressive word, but they signed up and they got the free report that I created for them. Which $5,000 6 months ago felt like a lot. Now it's feeling a little bit more okay, given, I've been trading and stuff. But, trading is not always reliable. So anything could happen, which is great to have a biz, which is a little less volatile than something like trading. So that's good, which is what we're working on here. But in these last couple of minutes, I just want to talk about, so I've got records coming into the database. That's great. They're pretty well tagged. I also, with the help of ChatGPT, asking it questions and stuff, I've done a good job now at error correction, basically limiting errors. I haven't really done test cases or anything like that, but I never did test cases even when I was a programmer, because I never actually worked on production stuff that was useful. But anyway, I'm good enough. It's dangerous, you could say. So now what we've got going on is, even if a lead isn't in this database, a contact, they don't get assigned a contact ID. I think with ChatGPT, I'm getting it so they do get assigned a contact ID if they're a new lead. But you can see, so we've got previous leads. So that's these contacted IDs. These are leads that are already in here. And then they're opening an email, or they're getting an email sent to them, which is this transactional email from what used to be Integromat, this make.com. Use AI for small businesses, right? That people would use make.com pretty much. It's like the building blocks. It's like Zapier. It's just a little bit cheaper, I think, and maybe a little more intuitive. But you can do webhooks, post events, and all that good stuff just by connecting these modules. Super intuitive. That looks more complicated than it is. This is maybe less complicated. But it's got people's info here. This is my info, I think, so I can look at it. Yeah, so I got my email, got what I got in the report, user agent, where I signed up, when, this is Unix or whatever, I don't know, but the timestamp that can be collated or matched to an actual time, that makes sense. An IP, all that. So all that jazz is good, and it's getting stored. And this is the lead. I've named these, as I think I mentioned. But this is the lead capture. Oh yeah, it's up here. Lead capture. It's named here. And then events logger. So I've got two modules. Super simple. Lead capture and events logger. So two scenarios is what it's called in Make. And it's getting stored in a database. So getting there, super simple. Still creating, all the parts of the business. I'm not good at any single one of them, but I think I'm, just dangerous enough, as someone who's good at would say, like, you're going to mess stuff up. Good enough at it where I think this is going to work slowly but surely over the next 10 years. So I'm attracting customers with the YouTube, that'll be Meta when I start paying for Meta. I'm collecting the data compliantly, and then I'm going to be able to segment it and email them and SMS them with opportunities. And I've talked to some people enough at conferences that I'm able to help them get some sales for their products. So I think this is good. This is the Free Leads podcast. We'd like to get some people on here, not just Matt. Matt didn't even know he was on the Free Leads podcast. That interview was conducted like 6 months ago. But I uploaded it here on Sam Platin Business for the first episode. It's pretty much the North Star in 2035, 10 years from now. So see you in 2035 when I'm 43, I guess, 44, something like that. And I'll see you in the next Free Leads. Hopefully with some other humans on here. Less programming. Peace. Oh yeah, follow me on X, call to action.